Hi, it's Mission Man, and in this video I'm going to break down my new album, Speaking in Typos. It is my 15th studio album, and I'm going to break down kind of the individual songs. I have a whole script here that I kind of wrote up that I'll be referring to. I don't care if you see that or not. I just want to make sure that I have the highest quality audio by recording the voiceover here and showing these clips as I'm going along. But I'll actually start with the last song that I recorded and the finale track for the album, Move the World. I had originally planned on releasing the album on November 22nd, 2024. When I finished recording the song Move the World, however, I felt peace. So the album is just done. I didn't expect it to be done for a while, but it is done now. The album as a whole is very vulnerable and honest. It is the best album that I can possibly create, and I don't know that I'm ever going to make anything that is better than this album. Some of the songs are definitely less vulnerable than others, of course, such is the case with the first song, Lactuation, which my brain wants to autocorrect to lactation when I see it, which brings up one of the two biggest themes of the album, language. The song came about because I was talking to my nephew and I tried to say lack of punctuation matters, and it came out as lactuation matters, and we laughed. I definitely spoke in a typo there, which ties into the album title. I've known the album title for a few years. I just didn't let anybody know what it was until I released my Indiegogo campaign about 5 weeks ago. But as soon as I said Lactuation, I told my nephew I had to write a song called Lactuation, all about language. And the first verse starts with missing some words, but you know what I mean. But the word miss is missing from the verse. The rest of the song is equally dense, like life. The song ends with trying to write tight prose, but I keep, and that silent is writing in typos, or speaking in typos, see? Even just now I did it. The silence is the implied album title, Speaking in Typos, since typos rhymes with tight prose. Instead of releasing the album on November 22nd, I'm now releasing it July 30th. You can get the album right now by contributing to my Indiegogo campaign. For $10, you contribute to that campaign and you'll be able to download the album immediately. The physical CD will be out later, of course. There is a link in the description, and if you're watching on mobile or a computer, you should see a pop-up card as well, somewhere around the top of the screen. If you're watching on TV, just go to missionman.net/Europe or potentially missionman.net/sit, SIT, short for Speaking in Typos, or a link to the Indiegogo campaign. The second song on the album, This Is What We Could Be, once again brings language to the forefront. So I've heard that if you go into Google Translate and type in Let It Go, the song from Frozen, it translate it into some language and then translate it back into English, Let It Go becomes give up. It's just one of those things that's kind of funny to me with language, and I've had a little fun with it in the song where I say let it go or give up, let go or give it up, let it go or give it up, so we can live it up. It also has a bit of a Casey and the Sunshine reference with the song Give It Up, and kind of has that same feeling as songs from that era that are just fun. The song is also about our potential to be better. Dance for My Life is mostly straightforward. I go into great detail about the song and the song quick facts video that's on my channel somewhere. You can go check that out if you want to. I'll probably link it in the description. But I will mention the language tie-in for the song. So I learned how to do the sign language for Dance for My Life, which is just dance for my life, because originally I was going to do the hand signals of dance. This was just going to be dance, and then it was going to be for, and then it was going to be my, and then it was going to be life. But in American Sign Language, dance is this instead of just this symbol, and then this is actually the letter B, because you'd have to go this way to have the number 4. So you have dance B, me, L. Dance B, me, L means nothing. It's complete gibberish. So I thought I'd actually use the American Sign Language, which is why you'll see me dancing in the video with Dance for My Life. And again, it's another recurring theme, similar to how Prince used I Would Die For You, the hand symbols there. I promoted Dance for My Life pretty heavily in Ireland using Snapchat ads, and it's one of the driving forces behind why I'm now trying to book a European tour for the first time. I've contacted about 80 venues, don't have anything confirmed yet, but I'm still hoping to launch the tour November 22nd in Dublin. I will certainly update that as I get more information on those. Just a real quick update. Since recording that video, I do have one show confirmed, New Year's Eve in Switzerland. I will give you the details as they come about, but got one, so we're going to build from here. The timing for that tour also coincides with my lease ending so that I'm not paying rent while I'm touring, because I just can't afford to do both. Like, I'm just not in a financial position to do it. My rent's too high, touring expenses are too high, so I'm taking a leap on the touring and hoping that this tour finally gets me to the point where I'm making a living from my music, and then I can either just keep touring or I can move into an apartment and continue touring on the side and continue making music. Money is not my driving force for anything really, much less music, but it would be an absolute incredible dream come true for me to finally be able to make a living from my music. While we're on the subject of Europe, track 4 on the album Your Midnight was inspired by a Noemi post. She's an Italian singer, and on Instagram, and to back this up, I had to explain why I'm following Italian singers on Instagram. In November of 2023, I decided I wanted to improve myself as a person as much as I could. I'll reveal a little bit more why later on down the line, but I wanted to expand my foreign language abilities, and I had learned Spanish in high school and used Rosetta Stone for 6 weeks before taking a Spanish course. That's even another side story, which is really weird to me. My English degree, my business degree, I don't have an English degree. My business degree required a foreign language, or did not require a foreign language, but my math degree, when I went back to college in 2008 to get my math degree required a foreign language, and I don't understand why. And it was really goofy how they set it up too. You only needed one semester, but you had to have 2 100 level prereqs to get into that 200 level. So I took Rosetta Stone for 6 weeks and then just went to that straight to that 200 level summer course. So instead of doing 3 semesters to get that 1 credit, I did a 6-week summer course instead, along with 6 weeks of Rosetta Stone. And I actually retained more with 6 weeks of Rosetta Stone than I did 3 years in high school and that 6 weeks in college. But for this, because this wasn't just for a class, I just wanted to improve. I ended up watching a lot of YouTube videos from a channel called Hola Spanish, and then watch Las Chicas del Cable, Cable Girls in Spanish, sometimes usually with English subtitles so that I could expand my vocabulary. And then I needed a break. In February, my brain was broken. Mi cervello estaba roto. Studying Spanish so much. So I saw an Italian show pop up in my Netflix feed, La Legge di Lydia Poet, which is the law according to Lydia Poet. The show is a fictionalized version of the first Italian female lawyer. And I understood about 20% of it because of the Spanish I spoke. And from there, I just kept learning Italian because it's such a beautiful language, which then led me to add a bunch of Italian songs to my playlists. And after adding those songs to my playlist, I decided to follow the artists on Instagram because I wanted yet another way to improve my Italian. And Noemi posted that she had a new song coming out at midnight that night. And I replied, La Tua Mezzanotte cade prima della mia mezzanotte, which is your midnight falls before my midnight, so I'll have to wait a little bit longer. And that phrasing was so beautiful to me that it's like, that has to be like either song lyrics or the title to a song. And the song itself is about, because the song came out 6 hours ahead in Italy versus here, at least in my head at the time, I thought that's how it was working. I was like, well, what else can you be experiencing by experiencing life 6 hours before somebody? Obviously, metaphors can change those hours into years or however you want to look at it. There are a lot of metaphors involved. But the song is a romantic song. I don't really write love songs, but since I was writing in Italian, I was feeling romantic. Anyway, yes, that is a pun. Sorry about that. But the song is called La Tua Mezzanotte, and I translated it into Spanish and English as well, and released all 3 versions on the same day. When I've translated previously from English into Spanish, the extra syllables in Spanish meant that I had to cut out some content and make some decisions on what to keep and what to get rid of when translating from English to Spanish. Translating from Italian back to English, I now have, if you listen to Your Midnight, there are several spots where it's just music because there are so many less syllables in the English song that you can just chill for a minute. So yeah, that was after a couple months of learning Italian. I wrote that song in Italian. And the song itself is about the distance and time that will go for things that we are passionate about, most of which being romantic love. And in typical rom-com fashion, the song does end with your midnight is now my midnight. Midnight is now our midnight. So it's about, what you have to do to get those two distances and those two times connected. There's really not a good segue into the song Highly Irregular, but the song is definitely just that. It's highly irregular. I wanted to use a lot of irregular rhyme schemes and words that I hadn't used in other songs because I was feeling anxious about life, which is not something that I generally feel. But because I was getting ready to turn 40, because I'd actually, for Highly Irregular, just turned 45, I was getting ready to turn 45, I wrote it about turning 45, and I haven't cared about my age since I turned 20. 30 didn't bother me, 40 didn't bother me. I was never really a drinker, so I didn't care about 21. But 45 is the same age that my mom was when she passed. And I'm not comparing my life to hers, but it is a big magnifying glass of like a measuring stick of where am I, and I'm glad that I've pursued music, but there's also been all sorts of sacrifices that I've had to make, especially financially. I'm in a worse financial position at 45 than I was at 23, and while money isn't a driving factor really in anything that I do, it would really be nice to be financially stable, and it would be extremely wonderful to make a living from my music. While Highly Irregular uses a lot of highly irregular rhyme schemes and uses metaphors to kind of concentrate on the feeling of that anxiety, the song Just a Little Longer addresses the root cause of those issues, specifically about becoming the same age that my mom was. And I happened to finish the song on Leap Day, and since it was a song about needing more time, I decided to use that extra day to create a stop motion video that you're seeing right now on the screen, using my discography and one photo for every second, so the second hand moved for each second. I used the discography and some magnetic screwdriver heads, and the red line is actually from the second hand. For the red line for the second hand is actually what I got my vegetables in. My leafy greens come in a package, so I ripped the edge off and it's got this red line, so I used that. How Do You Want to Be Great is a song that I wrote specifically for the NBA 2K soundtrack, hoping they would use the song in the game. They actually had a competition where you could write a song and submit it that way. So it was my official submission. It did not get used, but I'm actually very happy with the song, and it fits thematically with a lot of the other songs as well, because the first verse is about being incredibly skilled at something, specifically basketball in the song, but it's obviously also a metaphor. The second song is about the methodology for being great. Do you want to lead the league in assists, or do you want to lead it in scoring, etc.? And then the final verse gets into your motivations for why you want to be great, and has more of a tone of, I'm getting ready to retire and I'm looking back at my career and my life and wondering whether or not I made the right decisions. All within the backdrop of basketball. Battery Check is my busiest song on the album, and it's about continuing to push even when the batteries are completely drained. When life kind of runs you down, finding ways to keep going through it. And while I have not performed the song live, I don't plan on performing the entire song live, but the second verse is one of my favorite verses that I've ever written, and it goes like this: listening to songs in languages I don't understand, so my mind can expand and learn to see around me through another point of view, so I can then explain how much I love you without exception, no inspection or rejection, just acceptance of all you sentience. I will use these sentiments and sediments to build a foundation of imagination and explore places I've never been before. And when I wrote the song, it was actually before I was improving my Spanish and learning Italian. So it was an unmeditated precursor, foreshadowing to what a lot of the album was about. Got 2 songs left here to talk about for the actual album. We have Broken Zippers. Broken Zippers is just the right amount of stupid. It's mostly funny, like Chillin' at the Papa. It's probably the closest thing that I've written to Chillin' at the Papa. It's about my jeans zipper breaking 6 weeks after I bought the jeans that I had bought after replacing another pair of jeans that ripped after 2 months of owning them, and all the stupid little details of they weren't under warranty anymore. I couldn't just send it back. I don't have a sewing machine, so I can't really replace the zipper myself easily. I would have had to pay $25 to get the zipper replaced from it starts at $25 to get my zipper replaced from a dry cleaning place, and the jeans themselves only cost me $25, so it would have been the same price. And I'm like, okay, well, this is just dumb. It's hot outside, and I'm going to wear shorts. Which kind of goes along with the final song of I suppose I should fix the zipper, but forgetting about it is so much quicker. There are metaphors involved there about, stupid life problems like that, and we just having to focus on what matters and kind of laughing at the stupid things that come up. And finally, we'll get back to the end here. The song Move the World is the finale. It is a song that brings me peace. It brought me peace when I finished recording it, when I heard the finished version for the first time. And every time I hear it since, I feel peaceful when I finish listening to the song. It is about my place in the world and my desire to help it move. It's about the vast connections among all human beings and helping each other find our places in the universe. If it's the last song I ever write, it's a perfect last song. If I make a living from my music and continue to record music for another 32 years, it's a perfect last song for this album. For the digital release, this song is where the album will end. When you listen to the streaming services, the last lyrics you hear will be, I just want to help move the world, which is really what I want the most. I want to have that positive impact and help move the world, help each other find our places in the world. If you listen on the physical CD, you'll also have a remix of It's Good to Be Back and Just Getting Started. I use the lyrics from It's Good to Be Back because the lyrics are great. The music sucks. I use the music for Just Getting Started because I love the music. The lyrics are so. So combining the best of both those songs makes for a better song. And then I also wrote a third verse to kind of complete the song as well. And for me, it feels appropriate to put that specific song after the end of the actual album, as there are 9 more songs that will be on the physical disc. It'll be the 5 songs that I have recorded so far in Spanish and 4 songs in Italian once I finish recording Giocando un po' basketball, which is playing basketball in Italian. I still need to translate that and record it. But that is the last thing that I need to record for that. For streaming services, I will release a separate Spanish EP, Haz Lo Que Amas, and the Italian EP I think will just be called Suonare, which is to play, specifically music, because giocare is play like sports, suonare is play music. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the album breakdown. If you would like to get the digital album before its official release date of July 30th, you can get it right now by contributing to my Indiegogo campaign. As soon as I see that you contribute, I will send the digital download to you, at least for the 10 songs in English, all the Spanish songs, the remix, the Italian songs, and once I get Playing Little Basketball recorded, I'll send that to you as well. And the physical disc you can order through the Indiegogo campaign. It obviously just won't be an instant. You'll get the instant download as well, but the physical CD will come when I get it pressed. So yeah, if you want to contribute to the Indiegogo campaign, you can go to missionman.net/Europe, or hopefully missionman.net/sit will be live by the time you watch this as well, which is short for Speaking in Typos. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I hope you have an incredible day, and I hope to see you on tour, and I hope that you enjoy the album when it comes out.